The stakes are incredibly high for Michigan here.
Yeah.
You win this game, that's a good football team. You win this game, you got your mojo back. You have a favorable schedule until Thanksgiving. Still in front of you. If you lose this game, it's 2024 all over again, and I'm done pretending poop doesn't stink. Washington this weekend is USC 2.0.
Mm-hmm.
And
better in my mind.
In one sense, I'm kind of cool with this, right? Like, yes, in one sense, you'd love to play, and yes, this is a shot at Penn State, Northwestern, the week after a tough loss. In another sense, I kind of love the fact that after that performance, you get USC 2.0. Here's a team that has an offense with weapons everywhere. Here's a team with a defense that seems like they could be kind of susceptible. Here's a chance to make things right. So Washington's offense, really, really good. We have previewed a lot of this with Ohio State when Ohio State went out to Seattle. But in case you missed that, or you're a Michigan fan who skips through that section, don't do that. That's rude. This whole podcast is predicated on this.
Stay for all of it, you cowards.
Honestly, it's like the Hawaii test from Sicko's Committee. Damon Williams, fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
He's been fantastic. 1,600 yards, 10 touchdowns, 1 pick, which I believe was the Ohio State game.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
74% completion percentage for 1,600. It's not like he's throwing for 400 yards and all little swing passes, right? 74% completion, 1,600 yards. Denzel Boston, one of the best receivers in the country. Desmond Roebuck has kind of come on as their wide receiver too. Mm-hmm. He's got about half the targets that Boston has, but 75% of his yardage. That's pretty good. Oh, and also Jonah Coleman.
Yeah, maybe
is the running back,
skipping
right?
through Jonah Coleman.
And so for Michigan, we saw the struggle to cover Mekhi Lemon, understandably so, right? Are we going to see Denzel Boston toast Jair Hill? Probably so.
Hopefully.
One of the areas that I think Washington's offense can struggle a little bit is I think Damon Williams tries to hold on to the ball too long. He sometimes tries to make plays with his legs that just aren't there. There are a lot of elements of a more seasoned Bryce Underwood with Damon Williams, I think, because yes, he holds the ball too long. Yes, he maybe tries to make some plays that aren't there. He also makes plays out of nothing. And it's just, he's dangerous. He can escape if you let him get outside. And based on the tackling I saw on Saturday, that is a concern for me. On the defensive side of the ball, this is, again, it's USC 2.0 because there's a huge part of me that says Michigan should be able to exploit this defense. You should be able to run the ball on them. You should be able to pass the ball on them.
Whoa. So I don't disagree with part of that, but you're pointing out the wrong side of the defense because Washington ranks 6th nationally in yards per game allowed. They're like 2nd in the Big Ten, right behind, you guessed it, I think no, it's not Ohio State. I think it's actually Indiana, maybe.
Their rush defense is 8th in the country ahead of OSU and Michigan. Yeah.
And so that's what I think makes this game interesting because you walk into this game and it's the same concern that I had for Michigan going up against USC on the road. Bryce has not played exceptional in any of the big games this year. He's been okay. He's been fine, other than I would say...
I thought he played well at Nebraska. I know you and I disagreed on that, but
fine. He played fine.
Oklahoma, USC, I would agree.
I would say he played fine against Nebraska, subpar in the other two you mentioned. And so I have questions like I have all season on can Bryce Underwood show up? I mean, you can see the talent and you can see that it's there. You can tell that he's going to continue to make those freshman mistakes.
For sure.
But what game is going to be his coming out party where he kind of learns past that? I mean, we're 6+ weeks into the season at this point.
Well, but also you have to take competition into consideration. I mean, you play Central Michigan. You're not going to consider that a coming out party, but he was phenomenal. Wisconsin, you're not going to consider a coming out party. He still threw for a ton of yards.
Nebraska, where he should have played better against a Nebraska. I'll give you USC, but USC, we talked about it last week. Their pass defense was susceptible, and despite Andrew Marsh having a good game, Donovan McCulley having a good game, it just wasn't mind-blowing. And so I look at this Washington team and I go, their offense is just as good as what you just faced.
I agree.
But they have an exceptional run defense, which has been the identity of the Michigan offense for seasons now. I know Justice Haynes is going to be back. He'll play. They said he could have gone in if he was needed against USC. Jordan Marshall still had a great game coming in and serving as a backup. But I look at that and I go, they're going to have to. They're going to have to be successful on the ground because Bryce hasn't proven it to me.
I mean, I think you're being unfairly critical of Bryce. I think I would agree with you as far as the Oklahoma and USC games go that he was certainly subpar in both those games. You are also correct that this Washington defense, I mean, they've given up less than 500 total yards through 6 games as far as rush defense. So yeah, I mean, I don't. While I disagree with your criticism to an extent, I don't disagree with the game flow or game plan you're talking about, which I guess the point Bryce is going to have to pass the ball well.
My point with Bryce
for Michigan to succeed in this football game.
My point with Bryce, and then I'll let you give your thoughts, is in a game like Nebraska, in these bigger Big Ten matchups, he has not been the reason they have won that game. Like he's not the reason they won that game. The run game was the reason that they won that game.
But by that same token, you could say, well, Bryce is not the reason they lost to USC. Every single facet of that team.
He's not. He didn't play well, but the defense giving up 500 yards is the reason they lost that game. Yeah. And so, but I think it's fair to say he has not been the difference maker that he has been talked about. Like you last week saying that he's better than Arch Manning, but I have not seen a game that Michigan has played this season where Bryce has been the X factor for that team. It has been big, giant runs from Jordan Marshall or Justice Haynes and stellar defense from Michigan that has led them to some of those victories. He just has not done it. So until this feels like a game that he could and should, because to me, the run defense is going to be spectacular. You're going to have to rely on Andrew Marsh and McCulley to go out there and perform.
And that was to that point, that was the positive. One of the positives from the USC game is Andrew Marsh continues to get featured. Donovan McCulley continues to be featured. And it seems like Michigan's coaching staff has looked at that and gone, we should continue to do that.
Guy, we should throw the ball to him a little bit.
Which again, is another true freshman. So that having
take it from Ohio State. If he's got number 4 on his jersey, just toss it to him.
So let's get to the summary and predict this thing. Here's the struggle that I'm having here. Okay, so to summarize, Washington offense is really, really good. Washington's rush defense looks really good. The pass defense is susceptible. My concern is that I feel like this is the exact same scenario I had last week, where I said, hey, I think Michigan can still move the ball on this defense, and I feel like I trust our defense enough to slow them down. After the USC game, I don't know what to believe, right? This is a darn good offense. It's a defense that looks porous. I would think that Michigan's strengths should win out, but you just got embarrassed on Saturday night. However, I do think that Michigan, especially with an 18-year-old quarterback, has played better at home. This game not being in Seattle is a big advantage for Michigan. I alluded to this already. You want a chance to redeem whatever that was against USC. Here's USC 2.0. Like if you want a chance as a coaching staff, as a player on the field, to prove you can adapt and grow and fight and whatever other verb you want to put in there, here you go. This is another team like USC that should be ranked in the top 25. That wasn't. Now USC is. If Washington wins, they'll suddenly jump in there, but they're not in the SEC, so a 5-1 team doesn't get to be ranked. The stakes are incredibly high for Michigan here.
Yeah.
You win this game, that's a good football team. You win this game, you got your mojo back. You have a favorable schedule until Thanksgiving. Still in front of you. If you lose this game, it's 2024 all over again, and I'm done pretending poop doesn't stink. Michigan bounces back. I'm going to take 27-20. Michigan gets a huge win and keeps the season alive.
Will not surprise anybody. I do not agree with that whatsoever. I think this Washington offense is too explosive. I think the defense is better than what you saw USC come out with, and USC's defense played a stellar game this past weekend. I feel like because Haynes will be there for the full game, hopefully, I do think that makes it a little bit of a difference, but not enough. I've got Washington winning this one. Washington 28, Michigan 24.
again, I could see it feels
I knew we would be
a
close.
little bit like the compass is kind of off, and you go, well, the things I thought we were pointed at, I don't know if we're pointed at anymore. The Rivalry Podcast is part of the Varsity Network from Learfield and the River Podcast Network from River Radio Ministries.
New episodes out every Monday.
Be sure to subscribe, rate, and review wherever you're listening right now, and follow on social media at RivalPod and RivalPod.com.
And if you like what you hear, share with a friend so they can listen too.